Aaron, what do you hope to see out of this final preseason game, final dress rehearsal before it all starts to count?
Health. Everybody getting through healthy. Most important thing.
Aaron, what did you get out of the joint practice in Tampa?
Yeah, I thought it was good for us to get some work in. I felt like, there's a lot of film to correct. The failure is always best this time of year to learn from and to be able to let the coaches go through it, let Art go through it. But I thought we started practice, really well in the 7 shots. Then they kind of got after us in the team run with very correctable things that we kind of messed up on angle-wise and one declaration. Then I felt like we got after them, pretty good in the third down periods, and then we had a chance in the 2-minute with a couple opportunities and went 4 and out. But good film to work on. They had their guys. The thing I loved is, that there wasn't fans there, so they felt comfortable bringing a lot of different pressures. So I thought it was good work for us in the protection game, especially.
How do you feel about the work you've been able to get so far leading up to this point?
Personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, feel good. Conditioning-wise, body feels good. It's been a good camp.
Aaron, has there been a more concentrated effort to get Roman more involved, and what have you seen from him as he's progressed?
I think he's improving, every day. I think, you can't skew the results from the details, because the details are what make the difference. And even though he had a couple big plays, there's some room for improvement there. Wouldn't say anything if we just thought he was just going to be a guy, just any guy that you could throw in. But I think he has a chance to be a big-time talent in the league, and so we're going to hold him to a high standard. So I'm really happy with him, the way he's played, but we're going to hold him to a standard of excellence that I think he's capable of reaching.
With Calvin missing some time as he kind of works his way back, how do you kind of keep that chemistry going even when you can't be with him in team periods?
Talk to him. He sits, a couple over from me, so just keep him in the conversation, keep communicating with him. Nobody is more upset about not being out there than him, so just trying to keep it positive with him as well, because it's hard to be hurt any time of the year. But camp, with new quarterback and kind of building off the year he had last year, I'm sure there's some frustration, but he hasn't shown it. He's one of the happiest guys, one of my favorite guys in the locker room. So be happy to get him back. He was out there at walkthrough today, so I threw him a couple balls, made sure that oblique was feeling good. But yeah, I'm excited to get him back out.
A lot of guys have talked about how you can use your cadence as a weapon for this offense. I was just kind of curious, how did you develop that, and how has it evolved over time?
Yeah, I watched Brett Favre. Brett Favre had a great cadence, and so I copied the things I liked and expanded where I felt like there was room to expand. And we've been doing it for a long time. There's a rhythmic nature to it, and also a non-rhythmic nature to it that is an important aspect of it. But I would say being to a new team and with new players, the focus and the ability to lock in with the cadence is some of the best I've seen for a training camp, especially being with a new group like this, where not having pre-snap issues on the cadence especially with long counts, has been really impressive, and I got to give credit to my saddlebag partner Zach up front.
When you look at where you are in the calendar now, proximity to the season,
August
in terms of
18th.
in terms of the bigger picture of what you had to do over the time that you've had, where do you think you are? What do you say?
The collective you, or you personally? Me.
You fitting in here, the learning process, getting to know people, getting comfortable with the whole entire situation.
Yeah, I'd ask the guys how they feel like it's going, but I'm trying to be intentional every day I'm here. Trying to get Zach to loosen up a little bit. Mason's been a great compadre with that because he's next to him every single day. It's fun when I get a little laugh out of Isaac, and maybe a facial expression from Troy. Broderick is probably the most gregarious of the group up front. I got a laugh out of Darnell today, which was fun. Big win. So small victories every day, and when it comes to the chemistry building stuff. But spent a lot of time talking with the receivers, a lot of text messages after hours with those guys. But that's what it's all about, finding ways to connect with those guys. And I have kind of a built-in laugh track, I think, because I'm the old guy and I can recycle some old jokes from years past that they haven't heard before. But just trying to connect with the guys every single day.
Aaron, is that you talked about in Camp Howell, because the guys were kind of in close quarters for those weeks, it was sort of easy to do that. Is it a little bit harder to sort of foster that now that you guys are, going home every night? And do you do anything maybe out of the ordinary because it's your first year here to sort of be around more physically after practice after film sessions, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all part of it. You lay the foundation at Latrobe, and then just build on it. The road games are really good opportunities to connect with the guys. We had a big group that ate in Jacksonville together. It was like 37 of us. Shout out to Trent in the back there for picking up the tab. I believe that was a nice gesture by him. But that was fun. We had like 4 different tables, but there's like 12 or 13 guys at our table. So, and then guys hang out snack time or after snack, and so those are good opportunities. So we'll try and make the most of this trip as well.
It seems like you really like studying people and connecting with people. How did you get interested in kind of studying how people work and building connections?
I'm just trying to be curious, not judgmental for the most part. So I've always been curious about learning and just trying to be a lifetime student. That's why I enjoy reading and all forms, and whether it's audiobooks when you're in the car or reading. I like to actually have the the book in my hand so I can underline or highlight or whatever. But just getting to know guys too. You got to pay attention, and sometimes you got to use some strategies to remember things, because there's ways of connecting with guys, and I've just always been interested in those dynamics. And just trying to be curious.
And
2 more.
2 minutes of one area that maybe hasn't clicked like the others. Is there anything consistent there, or is that usually something that takes a while?
I mean, I think you have to understand that normal 2 minute, talking about like second half 2 minute, has a different dynamic to it based on what calls have been made that day, fatigue. Also, you have a plan, for that based on film study, like what calls you want to get to. So I'm never super worried about that. We're trying different things in the 2 minute. We have some quick calls, some longer calls, some different things that maybe they've been used to cadence-wise and that. So we're working through it. I think it's been some good learning experiences through that time about, concepts and thinking on the fly and testing these guys. So we try and find a positive in all that, but I think we've definitely been improving with that.
What are
Last
the
one
things
here.
that make a good 2 minute offense?
Efficiency, understanding of the time, situational calls, probably.